story has been very exciting for CSA Group, and it's very important for all Canadians. So this lab is the first in Canada that can test and certify medical grade PPE equipment. So this is going to give us the opportunity to look specifically at products that are used on the front lines of healthcare more recently in the fight against the coronavirus. So some of the items that we'll be looking at in this lab are going to be protective masks, such as surgical masks and respirators, gloves, gowns, face shields, and other personal protective equipment that people rely on in the front lines of the fight on this pandemic. It's really important to think about some of the changes that have occurred in our world here over the last 12 to 18 months. This virus has highlighted some of the challenges that occur when there's a big demand for something like personal protective equipment. So in response to that, we've seen a great outpouring of support around the world, and specifically in Canada, for people who are producing personal protective equipment to help aid those who need it on the front lines, and for the general population to keep themselves safe. But the bad part that comes with that is when you have a big push for something like an increase in production in a product, you find that you get some different supply chain challenges. So product is now being sourced from new locations. In some cases, we're getting new manufacturers who are not familiar with what are the requirements for making PPE. And so when that happens, it's really important to make sure that you've got the right tools in place to make sure all that product that comes into the market is safe. Additionally, some of the traditional sources for testing that may have existed in other places have been swamped. As new product is coming onto the market and the need to test it has gone up, it has put a strain on that system. And domestically, there was no way to actually test and certify product in Canada. So CSA's lab to be able to test and certify product for PPE in Canada is the first of its kind, and a huge step forward in allowing Canadians more adequately address the safety of the PPE coming on the market. Yes, that's a really important fact that everybody has to look at. I think what's on the back of everybody's mind when they wear PPE is that that product is protecting them from whatever it is that they're trying to be protected from when they wear it. So the safest way that somebody can purchase PPE and how they can be assured that it meets the requirements for that product is to look for certified PPE, which is PPE product that bears the mark, such as the CSA mark, to indicate it has been tested to the relevant safety and performance standards and will perform at the level expected to protect that individual. What's unique when we look at a certification program too, that's important for people to remember, that differentiates simply from testing a mask, is that when you're actually looking at the certification side, there's requirements that come with that there's ongoing surveillance of that product to make sure that not only was it tested safe initially, but it's continued to be manufactured to those high specifications to be safe going forward. That's a great question. I think there's a real attitude of a we can do it. We're all in this together. And I think that's important. We see that in small business, we see that in big business, and we see it from just the citizens of Canada in general. Everybody has tried to come together to move forward and really tackle this problem and make sure everybody stays safe and healthy in the process. So in this case, we see manufacturers making products that they hadn't traditionally made. We see new businesses emerging to meet that demand for PPE. And subsequently, this increased demand is being met by what CSA is doing and having the first of its kind lab to be able to address the testing required to show that that equipment is safe for all Canadians to use. That's a really good question. I think I hear this a lot, and what we really want people to start to look for is when sourcing PPE, the important thing to do is look for that certification mark. With the unknown origins of some equipment that's coming into the market and the new supply that's being introduced, looking for that mark gives them a very quick and easy way to identify that that product in fact has been tested and certified to meet all the requirements necessary for the performance and safety of the product itself. Seeing that mark gives them the confidence that they're going to be safe while using it to the best of what the standards have identified. Safety and health of our fellow Canadians and people around the world is, of course, of the utmost importance to CSA. Canadians in particular are used to looking for CSA marks on their products to indicate that they comply with safety standards that keep them safe with the products they use every day. This is a very smart and logical progression in safety to start having products marked with the CSA mark that we use for critical items such as the fight in COVID and the personal protective equipment we select to keep us safe. This gives everybody that confidence. These products are safe, they are tested, they are certified, and they're going to meet what you need them to meet to keep you safe.